Hi Sean, it's Dave here. Hope you're
Hiya.
okay. Can I just start with the team news, please, to start with? Has everyone come through okay over the last few days?
Yeah, we're pretty good at the minute, which is good news. Virgin Dale Stevens, he's not ready yet. He needs some game time, but he's back on the grass training with us regularly. That's good. Aaron Lennon's got a bit of illness, so we'll wait and see if he's available. But everyone else is looking good.
And for Dale, he's back on the grass. How long do you think it will take for him to join in with the group?
First of all, we need to he's joining with the group. It's just game time now, so we need to see when he's ready for the games. Because we're building up to that point. But he's getting stronger all the time, so he's back with the group training regularly and normally, if you like. The next stage is to get him into game time, as in reserve games and stuff to build him up.
Sure. If I can ask about Nick Pope as well, we spoke to him a little bit earlier on this morning, and he was talking about getting himself back to form, basically, since the injury. What do you make of his recent performances? I know he was standout, really, against Tottenham and made a key saves against Brentford. What do you make of his form?
Yeah, I think he's been terrific. I think he's a terrific keeper all round anyway. He wasn't far off, but he'd been out a while and getting that real sharpness. And I think that's back. I think he's been performing well. Top keeper, simple as that, in my view.
There's obviously lots of competition, particularly at international level, but do you think he's back to the sort of level he was pre-injury now? Yeah,
I certainly think so. He continues to get his eye in and the detail within his performances, but I think he's, the way he's been performing the last few games, I think he's made really important saves, as you mentioned. But not just at the basics of his game, reading the game, and coming out for crosses, which obviously he does so well, and the confidence to do that, and he's back on that level as well. So it's not always the glamour stuff you see in goalkeepers, which of course is vital when they make big saves. It's also the basics and how they're doing them, and I think he's doing that very well.
And he also talks about his future at the club as well. So he says he sees his long-term future at Burnley. Says it's an exciting time to be at the club, new owners, new exciting signings. Does it please you to hear that?
Yeah, I think it's always pleasing when you've got your top end of your playing market with us, and he's certainly that. When they want to be here, they enjoy being here. They can see the progress that's being made. They're well aware, they keep up with what's going on at the club. So, it's like still a process. It's not about just throwing money everywhere. It's about how we can keep layering up. But I think him and a few of the players have noticed that the players we've brought in are effective and they are beginning to affect the group and rub off on the group. And I think players want to see that. It's not just me. Fans want to see it, of course, but players want to see that, their own group. That newness, that edge, and also players who they start to look at and think, I think you can add to what we do here. And I think that's important.
Other international-wise, Wayne Hennessy, Connor Roberts in the Wales squad. Are you comfortable with someone like Connor, who's obviously come back from injury, that he's good to play 2 games in 3-4 days for Wales?
Well, he's certainly a very fit type of lad. We know that. He went away and played some minutes the last time round, which I thought was maybe a bit quick. But once they got international, it's not my decision. This time round, he's had more training, of course. He's had a game for us as well. So I think he's better equipped. And he's done very well for us. He did very well in the game, but I think he's doing very well in what we do here at the training ground as well.
Chelsea this weekend. I guess you go into this one with confidence. I mean, your performance levels have been good anyway, but to get that first victory, has there been an extra bounce around the place? And are you going into this Chelsea game fully confident?
Yeah, I mean, look, you have to be reality bound in the Premier League. It's not easy winning games. It's not something that happens all the time. There are challenges in the Premier League, and it's when your teams like us, you do lose some games, and that's hard to take. But there has to be a consistency within who you are, what you do, as well as the professional side of it. And I think we have a nice balance to that. And then when the wins come around, of course, they just add to the feel-good factor. I think we try and keep a positive place here anyway, with the players and the staff and the way that we operate. But of course, you get a win and a deserved win, and then that adds to that, and it adds to that feeling of what it is to be an individual in football, but also a team in football. So it's definitely there, but I do think we're a positive sort of thinking unit, as regardless of what the challenges are. But it does add to it when you win games, of course.
I think the last time you beat Chelsea was August 2017. It was a bit of a crazy, bonkers game from what I remember of it. It was Antonio Conte in charge then, and now he's back in the Premier League. With Tottenham, you're going to be playing them at the end of the month, and you obviously played a Nuno team not so long ago as well. How do you think a Conte Tottenham team will evolve, given your previous experience against Conte teams?
We'll see. I mean, he's obviously excelled as a manager. We all know that. His record says that. Did fantastically well at Chelsea in the first season, of course, and I mean, I don't know. He might change. He might operate in a different way. I'm sure managers have a way that they think they should operate, but he might look at the group differently to the groups had previously. So I think it'd be interesting to see if he does change, as in tactical change, because obviously at the Chelsea he did the three at the back a lot. If he decides different, learning about the players, I'm sure he'll know a lot of the players, but learning about them when you work closely with them, and they're rubbing off on the way he thinks that it's necessary. I mean, he's already mentioned about that calmness and stability. So I would imagine that's his first port of call, as he said. And then, suss out the players. But he's worked with many, many good players. So I think he will work them out and the best thing that he can do with them.
He likes the celebration as well. We've seen him running down the touchline, jumping in the crowd.
Similar to myself, to be fair.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wonder whether you could ever do that yourself.
No, look, to be honest, everyone has their own style. I haven't knocked any manager that I've worked against, played against, who I know. My teams have played against. Everyone has their own style. I have mine. It suits me. Everyone has their own way of doing it. I'm not to judge anyone. Simple as that.
I think when Thomas Tuchel took over at Chelsea, he got his first victory in charge against you. How do you think that they have moved on since then, obviously winning the Champions League? Are they, do you think, a more slick machine now, Chelsea, than they were perhaps in January?
I think they're using good players wisely. They've got very, very good players. They've got a very, very strong squad. I think everyone knows that, and I think he's finding a way of using them the wisest he can. And so far, it's showing how strong they are. They were the ones who come out the situation and kind of spent a real lot of money to strengthen. I know they'd been in an embargo before that, but and that investment as well as the coaching idea and how they're doing that, it looks like it's paying off. I thought Frank was doing a good job personally, but not for me to decide what happens at these football clubs. But new managers definitely had an effect. That's fair to say, and they're a good outfit without a shadow of a doubt.
Maxwell Cornet, I just want to ask you about him as well. He did an interview with Sky where he said his idol was Didier Drogba. Obviously, different type of players, but would you like a Drogba-esque performance from Maxwell this weekend? Yeah,
I don't think you can have the same performance because they are radically different in their stature and their physique and the way they play. But Drogba was a fantastic player, without a doubt. The physical presence that he had, but also the talent and the performance and I think players like that we matured into a team player as well. So, yeah, I mean, look, Maxwell's enjoying his football here. We want him to continue to do that. He's understanding by the day, how we work and how we operate, and the players rubbing off on him and him rubbing off on them. So far, it's a good mixture. So we want that to continue.
Thanks, Sean. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, David. Becky Ives, are you on?
I am indeed. Let me just find the old. There we go.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hiya.
I'm good. How are you, Sean?
Splendid.
Good. Right, let's talk about Matt Lawton, because very impressive last weekend. Popping up in the box.
Lawton, he'll go mad.
Lawton,
I think he told me it's his dad that doesn't like it, so it's Lawton. We all call him Louts. Yeah, we all call him Louts, but apparently I think it's his dad doesn't like that. It's Loats.
Got it, Loats. Well, let's talk about Loats popping up in the box with a goal. I mean, assists as well. Is this something that we can expect to see with him pushing slightly higher up and maybe contributing going forward?
Yeah, hopefully not. Don't want to see him in the box that often. That wouldn't probably be beneficial to us over a season's work. But it's nice when the picture looks right. He made a great run forwards. And once you're in there, as long as the team are balanced behind that, which I think they were, then of course we want players to score from anywhere in the pitch. Certainly assist-wise, he's a very talented player. I still think he can add to more assists and some of the passing range he's got, which he does do, but I think he could continue to add to that and get him forwards, because he is a very good player. He sees the picture well. He's talented with the ball technically, and I think he can still improve. And I think the added competition or competitive element with Connor coming in, and of course Bardo, who's a seasoned campaigner, a very good pro, then I think that's a good mixture.
Well, I was going to ask you, do you think he plays better under pressure?
Well, the concept that I've spoken about on here and when we talk about recruitment is subliminal pressure. So it's not that players don't necessarily, drive up and down when they come to training, worrying and thinking it over, every day. But it's just like that training pressure when you realise good players are around you, and it just adds on to your performance level, because obviously if it doesn't add on to your performance level, then you don't stay in the team. It's a simple equation, but I don't mean they just sit there talking about it. I think there's that sort of inner voice inside of yourself when you're a professional footballer. When there's players around you coming in and you look at them and you think they're decent players, then I think that just gives you that little extra edge in your training, that little extra edge in performances. But like I said, I don't think something that you're always that aware of. I played long enough myself. It's just like a subliminal thing when you just think, right, okay, I need to be on my toes. And then, you've got to perform well.
And Chris Wood getting a goal, ending his little mini dry spell, we'll call it. Is he a confidence player? So now he's got one. Do you expect them to sort of flow?
All players are confidence players of some sort. Some just hold their levels a bit higher for longer. I think Wood is a very, very good finisher. I think he's a very good all-round player. It's tough. It's tough for centre forwards in the Premier League. If you look at the records and the stats and the facts, not many. There's some of these players. I mean, Harry Kane the other week was getting questioned. I'm looking at him and think, wow, if you're getting questioned for what the level he's at, it's fair to say players maybe not the level he's at get questioned. And if Chris Wood's getting questions about himself, I still think he's a very good finisher. I did say recently that the stats start coming towards you, of course, as a centre forward. As long as you're getting in the right areas, you will score goals. I believe him and our centre forwards, our other centre forwards, can score goals. So I think the stats come back towards you, but you've got to go and make it happen. And the players that make a difference over careers are the ones that go and make it happen. They don't wait for it to happen. And it's something that I preach here a lot to the players. It's down to us to make things happen. And I think he showed that with the intent of his goal against Brentford. But he's not been far away himself, the same as the team. But I'm pleased he got a goal because he deserves it for his continued work ethic and continued belief in being a centre forward who can score goals.